The time by Carrie Chris is 6 p.m. Time for CBX Business News.
From banking and currency moves at home to Guyana's oil-fueled expansion, Trinidad's ratings challenge, and a looming U.S. shutdown, we bring you the key stories shaping regional and global markets. Good evening and welcome to CBX Business News for Tuesday, September 30, 2025. I'm Rochelle Moncrief. Thanks for joining us. Coming up in the newscast, locally, BOJ holds rate at 5.75% as inflation cools. JN Bank strengthens capital, lifts earnings amid recovery. On the regional front, TNT holds rating, faces pressure for urgent reforms. Guyana's rising economy and oil wealth draw regional focus. And over on the global stage, how standoff pushes U.S. toward government shutdown. Stay tuned as we unpack these stories and more right after.
Wealth is not simply counted in dollars or cents, but in the time we spend with love, in love, giving love. Wealth is not simply a means to an end. It is the means to live out loud. Wealth is more than money. It's about family, the memories you create, the legacy you leave behind, and your ability to enjoy life in the moment. It's also about seeing the QMAX possibilities and seizing investment opportunities to achieve the future you want and deserve. Which is why QMAX Wealth will focus on your investments so you can experience more. Because true wealth is truly more. To start investing today, call 876-926-7767.
The local news is brought to you by Derriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean flavors and fragrances, tease the senses, and Pulse Investments.
To CBX Business News. The Bank of Jamaica has opted to hold its key policy rate steady at 5.75%, signaling a cautious stance despite recent signs of cooling inflation. The decision announced Monday by Governor Richard Biles and the Monetary Policy Committee underscores the central bank's focus on maintaining economic stability in a shifting global environment. Latest data show headline inflation fell sharply to 1.2% in August, well below the bank's target range. However, core inflation, which strips out volatile food and energy prices, remained firmer at 4.2%, suggesting underlying price pressures are still present. The policy hold comes on the heels of the U.S. Federal Reserve's move to trim its own benchmark rate by a quarter point. While the Fed cited easing inflation, it also cautioned that the slowdown could prove temporary, leaving open the possibility of renewed price pressures. For Jamaica, the BOJ's decision reflects a balancing act between encouraging growth and guarding against inflationary risk. By maintaining the current rate, policymakers signaled confidence in the progress made so far, while reserving room to act should global or domestic conditions shift. Caribbean producers Jamaica CPJ, now operating under the Seprod and Bridens Group umbrella, has announced a shakeup in its leadership as part of a broader restructuring tied to expansion. The move comes just over a year after Seprad's acquisition of the Montego Bay-based food and beverage distributor. Group CEO Richard Pandohi confirmed that the company will streamline its management structure while installing interim leadership. He emphasized that the changes are designed to strengthen CPJ's position as it targets new growth opportunities within the regional market. Juan Baez has been tapped as interim chief executive officer, taking the reins effective immediately. His appointment follows the departure of Nicolas Hospidales, who steps down today after a short tenure at the helm. Hospidales had assumed leadership in July 2024, soon after the acquisition. The company now signals that its focus is on driving efficiency, aligning operations more closely with Seprad's strategic goals, and preparing CPJ for the next phase of expansion. JN Bank Limited has navigated its 2025 financial year with a notable turnaround, meeting stricter capital adequacy standards while also improving profitability. The Bank of Jamaica raised the minimum capital adequacy ratio to 13% in February, and JN Bank closed its financial year on target with a ratio of exactly 13%, up from 12.5% a year earlier. The bank now holds $27.4 billion in capital, compared with $27.1 billion in 2024, with further growth to $28.5 billion recorded by June 2025. Financial performance showed steady recovery. Pre-tax profit rose to $582 million at year-end, up from $468 million the previous year, while impairment charges fell significantly from $1.66 billion in 2024 to $653 million in 2025. This reduction in loan write-downs reflected stronger credit risk management and more disciplined lending practices. Revenue also climbed to $18.3 billion, compared to $16.3 billion in 2024. Management highlighted key strategic moves underpinning this rebound, including the disposal of its UK loan portfolio and the sale and leaseback of 22 properties in 2024, which generated a one-time boost of $1.9 billion. The decision to shed its UK operations followed persistent losses in that market, but allowed the bank to refocus on core Jamaican activities. JN Bank now sits in the middle tier of Jamaica's commercial banking sector in terms of capital strength, behind National Commercial Bank Jamaica, Bank of Nova Scotia, and Sagicor Bank Jamaica. Still, its directors emphasized that the institution remains stable, adequately capitalized, and positioned to continue operations with confidence, signaling a positive shift after the challenges of the prior year. We go now to updates from the Bank of Jamaica on how the currency markets traded today. In Tuesday's currency trading session, the US dollar is selling for $161.22, the Canadian for $116.51, the pound for $216.88, while the going rate for the euro is $192.91. We move to the latest updates from the JSE equities markets. In Tuesday's trading session, the JSE market activity resulted in the trading of 119 stocks, of which 55 advanced, 43 declined, and 21 traded firm. Leading the winners are First Rock Real Estate Investments USD, 138 Student Living Jamaica Variable Preference, Mayberry Group, and Margaritaville Turks, while leading the losers are Key Insurance Company, Lasco Distributors, Paramount Trading Jamaica, and Blue Power Group. The main index advanced by 4,105.80 points, or 1.28%, to close at 325,183.33 points. The junior market index advanced by 3.30 points or 0.10% to close at 3,428.85 points.
And it's time for Market Education Feature, brought to you by CARICRIS, Regional Ratings, Global Standard.
In today's Market Education Feature, we will be defining the term royalties. A royalty is a payment given to an individual or company for the right to use their property, such as copyrighted music, franchises, or natural resources. These payments are governed by a licensing agreement, which ensures that both the licensor and the licensee gain from the arrangement. The agreement details the terms, including how the royalty is calculated, how long it will last, and any geographic restrictions involved. There are 5 types of royalties, which are book royalties, performance royalties, patent royalties, franchise royalties, and last but not least, mineral royalties.
The Market Education Feature was brought to you by CARICRIS, Regional Ratings, Global Standards.
And that's it for the local news segment. Please stay with us. The regional news is up next.
The local news is brought to you by Darriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances. We started out as a small family-owned business, and now we're a part of a large group of companies. Being listed on the stock exchange allows us a certain prestige. It also speaks to accountability and transparency. We had some fears about getting our information in the public domain, but once we contacted the Jamaica Stock Exchange, who have the knowledge and the experience to guide us, we were comfortable with getting into the process. If you have any doubts about being listed, just give the Jamaica Stock Exchange a call. They'll be very happy to take you through the process and also provide you with information that you may need. Make that call now.
Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances Limited has been a part of Jamaica's manufacturing landscape for over 20 years. By crafting unique flavors and fragrances, we have become a part of your favorite household and food items such as beverages, ice cream, household cleaners, and much more. Known throughout the Caribbean for the highest quality, we continue to innovate with strong leadership, a dedicated team with integrity. We go the extra mile for our customers. Create the next taste sensation. Contact us at 876-9235-111 or visit our website, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn pages.
How may I assist you today?
I want to open an account for me and my son.
That's great. Let me see your documents. I understand you want to know about our savings account. Let me show you a few accounts and the benefits of each account.
Why do you need so many documents from my mommy?
It's called KYC, Know Your Customer. This helps us to protect you and treat you right. Thanks for the documents. Take a look at this brochure. Let's discuss savings accounts. A savings account is an interest-bearing deposit account. Customers with savings deposit accounts are covered up to $1.2 million per ban, so you don't have anything to worry about.
This financial literacy tip is brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, promoting financial inclusion. For more information, visit our BOJ Real Talk playlist on our YouTube channel.
Welcome back. And now for the regional business news. Trinidad and Tobago has kept its investment grade rating at BBB-, but Standard & Poor's has lowered the outlook to negative. The agency warned that weakening fiscal buffers, low growth, and slow progress in diversification leave the economy exposed, especially with heavy reliance on oil and gas. Finance Minister Davendranath Tanku said the rating confirms investor confidence, but also signals the need for urgent reforms. He noted that the government will use the upcoming budget to push measures aimed at diversification, fiscal discipline, and stronger long-term growth. S&P cautioned that without real policy changes, there is a 1 in 3 chance of a downgrade within 2 years. It flagged chronic US dollar shortages, sluggish growth of around 1%, and fiscal consolidation efforts that have repeatedly fallen short despite the country's heritage and stabilization fund. The agency acknowledged Trinidad and Tobago's democratic stability, but highlighted its dependence on the energy sector and delays in new projects. Tanku stressed that diversification is no longer optional and pledged decisive steps to build resilience and secure future growth. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has commended Belize for making strong strides in its post-pandemic recovery, pointing to steady economic growth and improved financial stability. The institution highlighted the country's ability to rebound from the shocks of COVID-19 while maintaining fiscal discipline. According to the IMF, Belize's progress has also translated into better social outcomes, with gains in employment and targeted support for vulnerable groups. These improvements have strengthened confidence in the government's reform agenda and its ability to balance growth with stability. The fund noted that while challenges remain, particularly in reducing public debt and diversifying the economy, Belize's recent track record shows resilience and commitment to long-term sustainability. Overall, the IMF's review positions Belize as a Caribbean economy on a firmer footing, benefiting from prudent management while still needing to press ahead with reforms to ensure growth is both inclusive and durable. Guyana's economy continues to expand at a remarkable pace, fueled largely by rapid developments in its oil sector. The country has emerged as one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with energy production reshaping its fiscal position and investment profile. The surge in oil revenues has strengthened government finances, providing resources for infrastructure, social programs, and debt reduction. This has positioned Guyana as a rising force in the Caribbean and Latin America, attracting global attention from investors and policymakers alike. At the same time, officials acknowledge the importance of ensuring that growth translates into long-term benefits. Efforts are underway to channel oil earnings into sustainable development, including education, healthcare, and economic diversification. The Jamaica Stock Exchange, JSE, will host its annual conference next week, running from Tuesday to Thursday, where Guyana's economic trajectory is expected to be a central talking point, with regional stakeholders watching closely. Discussions will likely focus on how the oil boom can drive wider Caribbean growth and deepen cross-border investment opportunities. Still, the challenge remains to balance rapid growth with prudent management. As oil output climbs, Guyana faces the task of protecting its economy from volatility while securing broad-based gains for its citizens. It's now time for news from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 23 securities, of which 6 advanced, 7 declined, and 10 traded firm. Today's winners are National Enterprises, JMMB Group, Trinidad and Tobago NGL, and Republic Financial Holdings. while leading the losers are A.S. Bryden and Sons Holdings, One Caribbean Media, Massey Holdings, and CIBC Caribbean Bank. Trading activity resulted in the following movements. The All-TNT Index declined by 9.47 points, or 0.66%, to close at 1,428.82. The Composite Index declined by 7.16 points, or 0.72%, to close at 981.23. The Cross-Listed Index declined by 0.66 points, or 0.93%, to close at 70.27. The SME Index remained at 100.64. And we take a short break, but please stay with us. The international news segment is up next.
I see my granny I save her money under her mattress.
Exactly. Okay. Your grandmother house never burned down? No, how you reach that, so?
That was a one-off thing.
That could have happened to anybody. That's why you must put your money in a financial institution and protect it.
What if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in.
What you mean?
JDIC is a financial safety net which provides coverage for your money in case your financial institution fails.
Explain that to me.
Alright, because of the JDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you put your money into a financial institution like a bank or building society, you can get coverage of up to a maximum of $1.2 million per deposit of your financial institution if it should fail. And for even more information, you can visit their new website at www.jdic.org, and you can follow the social media platforms for the latest information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me.
Let's all get fit. This summer's a drip. Hip dips and split, power in the mind, let's get healthy with it. Sometimes the body's so hard, but the body wants it. And then your head is so hard, and it's so like this. So we gotta go 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. One more now. 1, 2, 3. One more now. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, I just sent the money. I'll WhatsApp you the tracking number.
Thanks, Daddy. I can't wait to buy that PS5.
Listen to me. Your birthday money is not just for spending. Remember what I told your mom? Remember to open the bank account immediately after collecting the money. Your mom has her ID, TRN, proof of address, proof of income, and your school ID.
I'm not an adult yet, so Mommy will have to open the account with me.
Yes. Anyways, I'm headed back to work, so call me later. I love you guys.
This financial literacy tip is brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, promoting financial inclusion. For more information, visit our BOJ Real Talk playlist on our YouTube channel.
Welcome back. In international news this evening, with a midnight deadline looming, House Speaker Mike Johnson blamed Democrats for risking a government shutdown by rejecting a GOP-backed stopgap funding bill. They need to come to their senses and do the right thing, Johnson said on CNBC, urging support for a 7-week funding extension. Democrats, led by House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, insist the bill must include an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies set to expire at year's end. If the government shuts down, it's their decision, Jeffries said, accusing Republicans of ignoring healthcare needs. Both parties met with President Trump but failed to reach a deal. The House-passed bill lacks the Senate support needed to advance, and Democrats' alternative proposal also failed. Without a breakthrough, hundreds of thousands of federal workers face furloughs starting October 1. President Donald Trump is set to announce a landmark agreement with pharmaceutical giant Pfizer to lower the cost of select medications for Medicaid recipients. The deal, which was unveiled at 11 a.m. today, follows the administration's push to align U.S. drug prices with those paid in other high-income countries. The agreement comes after Trump issued letters in July to 17 major drug makers, including Pfizer, demanding price reductions by September 29. Pfizer is the first to respond, committing to voluntary price cuts and direct-to-consumer sales through a new government-backed website, Trump RX2. The initiative is part of Trump's most favored nation pricing strategy, which aims to curb pharmaceutical profits and reduce healthcare costs for Americans. While full details of the agreement remain undisclosed, officials say the move could significantly impact Medicaid pricing and drug accessibility. And that's it for the international segment of the newscast. The news recap is coming up on the other side of
If it were not for the Jamaica Stock Exchange listing, Phosphate Company Limited would not be where it's at today. I called them, they listened to my concerns and my fears, and they gave me the answers. All the fears I had about banks, about losing control, you are having them. And I tell you, they were dissipated when I spoke to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This is one of the best decisions I have ever made in business. If you want to change the trajectory of your business and to grow, make that call today to the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You will be glad you did.
Been coming along well.
Thanks, man. You know, it's a long time I've been working at it.
I can see that. I saw your mail by the gate, so I'll pick it up for you. But tell me something. Why are you still receiving dividend checks by mail?
What do you mean about that?
You need to give JCSD a mandate.
You know, me hear about the mandate, them. I'm going over there right now.
A mandate means giving instructions to the Jamaica Central Securities Depository Limited, JCSD, relating to the handling of your dividend or interest payment. There are 3 types of mandates. The first is a bank mandate. The second is a hold mandate. Lastly, we have what we call a third-party mandate, with which the investor may wish to send their dividend or interest to someone other than the parties on their account or institution of their choice.
Okay, I just sent the money. I'll WhatsApp you the tracking number.
Thanks, Daddy. I can't wait to buy that PS5.
Listen to me. Your birthday money is not just for spending. Remember what I told your mom? Remember to open the bank account immediately after collecting the money. Your mom has her ID, TRN, proof of address, proof of income, and your school ID.
I'm not an adult yet, so Mommy will have to open the account with me.
Yes. Anyways, I'm headed back to work, so call me later. I love you guys.
This financial literacy tip is brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, promoting financial inclusion. For more information, visit our BOJ Real Talk playlist on our YouTube channel.
Caribbean dreams, instant turmeric tea. What you put in is what you get out. What you put in is what you get out. Yeah. Build up your body Stop your brain. Take on the world now. Say bye-bye pain. Caribbean Dreams, instant turmeric tea. Be good to you. Caribbean Dreams, instant turmeric tea. Distributed by Amalgamated Distributors Limited.